I want first to add my personal congratulations to all those who have graduated here today. We can be proud of them. And I am proud of my association with this great college and, of course, to be its Chancellor. There's a lot of tradition in today's proceedings, and a very good thing it is too. There's a great saying, in fact it's the title of a poem by D.H. Lawrence, "We are transmitters." And I don't need to tell all of you, you're all good Latinists, that tradition means the handing on, the handing over of something cherished. And today is a sort of microcosm of that idea, in that first of all, I entered here a humble nobody, and through the powers of this convocation, I became the Chancellor. Something came to me that was a gift that was handed down in a way over the years. And I have just myself handed on something in the sense of having ratified, recognized, honored the work that has been done by the graduates that we have here celebrated today. There's something very important about the way in which a good education is not just the handing on of information. It is much more than that. It is nothing less than the learning of a way of being in the world. This is not something one would automatically say about many, alas, of our great, formerly, institutions of learning. But it is something I am honored and proud to say is what Ralston represents and what Ralston has offered. You began today by singing this wonderful, ancient, medieval, rousing song, Gaudeamus igitur juvenes dum sumus, let's rejoice while we're still young. And in the course of time, there will come molestam senectutem, post molestam senectutem. The grave will have us. Nos habebit humus. That may seem a little morbid, but I think it's very, very important. Like the Greek hymn with its words, pros oligon esti tosin, life is but short, it underlines to us the context in which we undertake what we undertake. It adds, the mention of the grave adds gravitas, it adds a sense of what it is we're doing here. And so we see our youth in the context of a whole life, and that means eventual death, which is not something to be feared, but something to instill in us a sense of what it is that is important to do. It adds a sort of degree of urgency to something that might otherwise simply be a leisurely coasting through. But it is much more than that, and I know that all of you have worked very hard in this last year. You've dedicated yourselves to learning. But it is also something that will comfort you. You will have learned ways, in fact, of surviving what, in the phrase, in hoc vitae salo, in this salt sea of life, in the billows, the storm of life. We remember those who came before us, with whom we are in a communion, and with those who will come after us, who will do the same thing, that they lifted their eyes to the heavens, and they embraced the great values that are here described as those of truth, of beauty, and of immortality. We lack this kind of idea in our life now. We live in an era in which truth has been travestied, in which beauty has been scorned, in which immortality is thought to be a fiction. But no, these great people who came before us, and these great people who are before us today, and those who will come after them, are dedicated to the things that make life meaningful, that give life its true direction, brings back the star to the wandering bark tossed on the seas. So it's also very important that in your work, you don't just congratulate yourself on your scholarship. I very much hope, and in fact the evidence is here today, that you all have achieved a great deal with your scholarship. But there is more than that. We need to see through things to something beyond. So scholarship is a portal to something that will open an imaginative world that we may not have access to until we've done that hard work. In a similar way, when we look at beautiful works of art, our eye should not neglect them, it should rest on them, but it should see something through them and beyond, which changes the way you see life. And words themselves are not enough. Words are also a veil through which the great ideas that will make your life worth living and that could make our whole society and civilization thrive again can be seen. And I love the fact that these people who went before us are described as having pursued those noble values animose atque fortiter, spiritedly and with courage, with bravery. And that is something I recommend to you, because without it, you will not find yourself at the place that you are destined to go to. We had a hymn about that. Where is that home? That home is there. You have seen signs of it. You have seen the stars that lead you there. You must pursue that. And for others, spread the word to others in your life through your teaching and pass it on to our children. So with that said, this has been a day of rejoicing, but it is also a day of a certain important solemnity which does not negate the joy, but if anything, deepens it. Thank you.